Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hey Laura, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Well, unfortunately, by the looks of outside, they were right on this storm for a change because we are getting hammered. And I do mean hammered. If you would, when you come in, please hit the thumbs up. That's okay. In the upper 30s tomorrow, which means we're going to have probably going to have us a little bit of flooding. Oh, we had four people in and three left. My oh my, huh? The yeah, we don't ever. I got a Hey Robert, I got a pretty steep roof, so I don't have that problem. That comes right off. They're having tuna subs for dinner. Yeah, I don't ever have a problem with the roof here. The last time they plowed, though, see, I have a a propane heater, and though the vent is outside and it has a cover over it, you know, angled like this here, so the snow doesn't bury it. It's pretty bad up there in Augusta. Yeah, we're getting hit hard right here, David. I don't think I've seen you before. Thank you for coming in. We're getting we're well, I used to work in Augusta, David, for a company called ESM. Yeah, we're getting hammered here. Stay safe. And again, thank you for coming in. Both both the babies are Jackson's right there. Luna's over there laying on the Trump flag. She loves Donald Trump. You know ESM? You work at Shaw's? Okay. I used to shop there. Used to go from Shaw's to Walmart because Shaw's does a lot of that. If you buy three of them, you get a big discount. Like with cereal and stuff, you buy three boxes and you get a big discount on that. You have to shop around, go online and check out different things. What are you what are you waiting for, Jackson? Huh? What are you waiting for? Look up there. You're so handsome. You tell Laura, say, "Yep, I'm handsome, Jackson." No, get your nose. Yes, employment specialist of Maine. They're no longer employment specialists. The mental health field in this state, David, is broke. Yeah, it just it he ought to keep his nose out of that. They'll probably fight it in court, but it's really no big deal. It just strengthens background checks. Oh, your wife worked there. Okay. I worked there for 16 years. Eight people. Thank you. Thank you very much. Luna? Luna? Yeah. I know you guys love that, don't you, huh? Don't be looking at her. You're getting the same amount she is. Huh? I know, huh? You're each basically getting. Hey, Donna. Oh, yeah. Luna's loving it. Jackson's loving it. Yep. You a good boy. Uh huh. Say yes. Are you? Do you do naughty things sometimes? No. Luna. This is the last one, guys. They're having a tuna sub. There you go, guys. There you go. Just plain tuna and a little mayo. It's all gone now, bub. Hey, now I got one more thing for you. Okay. I love that face. Yeah. As you know, ice cream's good, Scott, any time of the year. Ooh, you're boiling potatoes to make potato salad? That sounds good. You know, I still every now and then, even in the wintertime, I'll go buy a half gallon of Gifford's chocolate ice cream. Ooh, pancakes and sausage. That sounds good. Eggs finally went down a little bit, so I bought the double pack thing of 18 eggs. Unfortunately, though, I forgot to get my potato chips. Did you get it all, Luna? Did you get it all? Come here, baby. Come here. Come here, Luna. Come here, sweetheart. Hey, hey, come here. Hey, hey, hey. Want kisses? Give me kisses. Luna, give me kisses. Thank you, sweetheart. Well, I made sure I got enough this time. I'm gonna make the. Oh, that sounds good. Stuffed peppers. I'm not a big fan of deer meat, but at this point in time, if someone said, "Hey, I just hit a deer. You want some of the meat?" I'd have to say yes, because it's all in how you cook it. Stuffed peppers are wonderful. I may do pancakes and eggs, or not pancakes, but sausage and eggs for tomorrow. Maybe pancakes too. Yeah, got the big old beard thing going on. Soak it in milk first. A lot of people do that with catfish too. That must get rid of the gamey taste a little bit. Luna, did that tuna make you thirsty? 11 deer on ice. Well, then you've got a lot of deer meat. Hey, Kenneth, how you doing? And thank you. Yeah, so yeah, we getting let up a little bit. Glad to hear it, Kenneth. Yeah, I don't care what. You know what? I'll just go to eating wild game. None of my protein's going to be friggin' bugs. It ain't gonna happen. I'm not a lizard or a bat. I don't care how good they are for you. Yeah, they even have bug burgers. They went from making burgers out of black beans to bug burgers. Yum, yum. Hey, Trish. And if you want to eat bugs, more power to you. Eat what the fuck you want to eat. And yes, this is set for adults. If you don't like the swearing, I don't know what to tell you. Turn your volume down or yes, hand pink waving. Yeah, I'm not eating no freaking bugs. Hey, what's everybody think about since Friday we've had three banks go belly up. Now, there's two things involved there. One started way back in the Bush administration when they went from banks paying interest to buying bonds. Well, unfortunately, the bonds ain't worth a fuck anymore. So the banks are selling them out. That and the banks are hiring woke. Banks are hiring people by their gender, their race, or their religious belief. And it's happened before. They hired a man because of this color of his skin, and something happened to the plane he was flying, and he made the wrong choice and did a nosedive into the ocean with uh, a 767 plane. And his parents are suing them because he should have never had the controls. They held the class back 4 times for him to pass his test because the banks are right now are hiring by certain agenda. The term I like to use is the woke agenda. Well, that's good, Scott. Empty it all out, man. I wouldn't trust the banks for shit. Get your note. Jackson here likes to steal my coffee. You just keep your nose out of my coffee, Bubba. There's no more tuna left. No, tuna's all gone. And you're not having a drink of my coffee. No. No coffee for you. You know I love you. Yesterday I go out in the kitchen and I hear him slopping in here, and I look in here, and he's got his nose right down in my coffee, slopping it all over the my table here, and no, no, sorry, pal. Come on up. Oh, there's trouble. Hey,
You
Trish.
know it.
Hey, how the banks doing there in Canada?
Don't ask me. I don't read the news.
What was that?
I said I don't know how the banks are doing. I don't read the news.
Well, I asked because they're, Canada's just as woke as we are.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm broke, so it doesn't really matter anyway. I mean, if I had money in the bank, like tens of thousands, I'd worry. But I don't even have $50, so it don't matter.
Well, the ones that got hurt bad are the ones that are more wealthy
Yeah.
because we have that insurance that covers your money up to $250,000.
Mhm.
Hey, Tyler. But you know what? Hey, Laura.
Hey,
I
Laura.
don't want I don't want somebody doing anything. I mean, what's next? Are they going to do it with doctors? Are they going to hire you because of your gender or? Hey, Scott. Thank you. Some dog yum yum. All right,
Dog
Bubba.
food. Food. Oh wait, no, that's cat food. Hello, Jackson.
I, lay down, Bubba. Go ahead, lay down. Oh, shoo, tuna burp. I'm gonna get paid. I'm gonna get paid back later on. Yeah, yeah. I love you too. Oh, such a sweet boy. Later on, it's gonna be tuna farts. Hey, ogre. Oh, you're such a good. Lay down. There you go. There you go.
Oh, I had, let me see. We're supposed to be getting into a bit of a storm today, too.
Oh, we're getting
Supposed to get
hammered
some
at the moment.
snow and are you getting hammered? We've
Yeah,
got winds. We've got high winds, like up to 70 kilometers an hour, but no
we
snow.
got the we got the wind too. Hey, Scott.
Hey, Scott,
Fun, fun.
they're 45 miles an hour right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's normal.
we're supposed to get the wind. real heavy winds tomorrow. But right now we're getting, yeah, we probably got about 6 inches in the last hour.
Oh, wow.
I hope you got your scooter covered good.
Yeah, not really.
What you gonna do? Like it snowed all over and ruined on you?
It ain't gonna get ruined.
Well,
only
then you
thing
got it covered.
The only thing that could ruin it is if it got snow on the motor, and that ain't getting snow.
Well, the snow or the handlebars.
Yeah, well, the handlebars, it could ruin the key thing, which has already got a short in it, so I ain't worried about that.
Hi, Sharon.
I'm gonna pop that cover off and run a straight wire. Oh, sure, Donna. Rub it in.
Look
I
at
feel
Walmart's got on sale. $9 for a 6-pound can.
Damn.
What is that?
Peter Pan peanut butter.
Oh, I've never heard of it. We don't have Peter Pan peanut butter.
No, but they don't have crap either.
We have Kraft peanut butter.
I buy the Jiffy Natural.
Yeah, we have. Well, I don't think we have Jiffy here.
Yeah, Peter Pan's actually gluten-free. It's made by the Post Company.
Ah,
The state that's getting hit really hard is California.
Well,
And no, I'm not. Oh, okay.
yeah, and made in Canada.
With peanuts from Georgia.
Yeah.
so it's you sure it's real peanut butter? You sure it ain't made with Georgia peach and
Yeah,
just grab?
we should
I'm
check
just
that.
saying. Yeah, you might want to check that.
Yeah. Oh, it'll
You
be
can
nice
have-
after spring.
You can have some of mine there, Tyler.
We have other ones too, not just that. We have squirrel as well.
Oh yeah, squirrel peanut butter.
But I think they have that in the States.
I don't know. I've
The one
never
with
heard.
the peanut on the top.
I've never heard of squirrel peanut butter. When I worked at Frito-Lay in California, we had squirrel Doritos one day.
Oh yeah. They put a
Yeah,
peanut on them.
A squirrel got into the corn and it went through the
Oh yeah.
thing that grinds up the corn, and
Sean, it's still within that 10%.
well, they didn't know when the squirrel got in there, so they had to take and destroy almost a whole day's worth of product.
Really? I thought they'd have been okay. It's still within that 10% of foreign material.
Yeah, we Sharon, I buy the Jiffy Natural.
Now we have Jiffy. We have Jiffy eggs.
We do have Jiffy?
Jiffy in Canada, yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it's heavy wet snow here too. It's 33 degrees. I don't even know how the hell it's snowing. How you been, Sharon? You know, tomorrow going to be 37 degrees, so a lot of it's going to melt. Yeah, California, they have major flooding everywhere in the south.
Well, that's good. They need water.
Not if it just runs over top of the surface.
Hey, Lollipop Guild.
It needs to percolate into the ground to be of any value to any of the reservoirs.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well, that's all right.
They need the rain, just not how they've been getting it. Like that old
Oh,
song.
we're going to get our almond milk if they don't get rain.
Yeah. You know, during the production of that almond milk for the last like 10 years or so, they've been killing off the bee population
Yeah.
Mhm.
because they spray
Neonicotinoids.
the trees with insecticide, and it's making the bees go crazy.
Yeah, neonicotinoids. It's the actual chemical. Neonicotinoids. Bad.
They said on the news yesterday that they're getting plenty of the reservoirs are filling up in California. They said, but now they got too much. They said
Yeah. Yeah, that Santa Ana River there, which you see where it flows through in Terminator 2, that reservoir that Schwarzenegger goes down in the motorcycle.
Yep.
That's where the Santa Ana River is. Right now, that's to the top.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the sewers that go into that are big enough to drive trucks into.
Wow.
Yep.
And, I feel bad for some of the people there, but as far as California goes, not so much. California is a cesspool. Hey, Regina.
Hey, Regina.
And thank you all for coming in. I do appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up if you would, please.
Hey, Muffin Crochet. I agree. I don't need more snow either.
No, we only got so much more to go here.
Yeah, 3 more months, and then maybe it'll snow throughout the summer. Yeah,
No, we got no 3 more months. Maybe 1 month. What the hell you been smoking?
This is Canada. We're lucky if we have snow or lakes that are not full of ice in the middle of May.
And that's true.
Oh, I know.
I've gone swimming at the lakes when I was a kid. There was still ice on the lake, and it was May 21st.
Yeah, we'll lose that here.
Yeah, I know. We had cousins from down south of Chicago, and they damn near froze their nuts off in the middle of the summer.
Oh, we don't have a big storm coming, Regina. It's already here.
I think that's where you put it. I almost froze my nards off in that swimming there. How do you guys do that? We're out there just having way too much fun.
It's a Canadian thing.
Yeah, you've been smoking the good stuff, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, BC grows the best.
I don't know about that.
I do.
The
I've
person
tried
I
from all over the world. BC grows the best.
the person I get it from is a veteran and grows hydroponic.
Yeah, I did that once.
Yeah, Lollipop, you got to treat a boxer like a kid.
Yes. Almost keep them leashed to you at all times.
Spank them regularly. Chain them in the closet.
And when they're quiet, that's when they're up to something.
I'll have to watch that, Donna. And contrary to what you might have heard, the smoking and the swearing and stuff, I have a tendency to say shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits every once in a while. I have my channel set for adults.
Yep.
And if you're one of these adults that just can't stand that swearing, then you're in the wrong place, darling.
I think I should start putting a warning under my lives and my videos. Warning.
Well, gosh, golly, I'm offended.
Yeah, well, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Go smoke a blunt.
No, I wouldn't smoke a blunt. I wouldn't smoke a bowl full. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to go hot knife a bud.
There you go.
If smoking a blunt is pointless.
Anyway, what I was saying was, like it just, I'm going to put a warning, like there's maybe offensive language, there may be offensive deeds. If you don't like it, don't watch.
Well, it's got to the point in this world that if someone's offended by anything,
Hmm. And then for some reason, they feel they have to share their offendedness. They have to go out and get people of like minds. They have to, argue their points, stand on a podium, and get more people interested so they could have, a following and then gang up on everybody else.
yeah,
Like, where did that come from? I remember being offended and just, oh well, shrug it off and get on with my day.
Sticks and stones will break my bones, but the names, they can't fucking hurt me.
Yeah.
I just watched a video of a judge doing a lecture at Stanford University and was heckled by one of the administrators. Of course, he's a conservative judge. This administrator encouraged everybody to give him a hard time, which they did. And what's really scary about that is these are the people that are going to run this country in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll hit a tipping point. It'll go the other way soon.
Yeah. Well, it does. The woke attitude. A lot of these corporations are finally getting it. The only way they're getting it though is because they're losing money. That's the only thing that they understand. It's what they preach though. Well, they have people do that here. There's businesses in this town that were lost business because they supported Trump.
It's funny. There's I saw, I can't remember what state it was in, but I saw one video some guy posted from a local news. The parents were homeschooling their kids naturally through the pandemic, and then when the pandemic's over, they kept saying, "Well, why aren't your kids back in school?" And the kids' the mother said, "Because they're learning more here. We're not teaching them about changing your sex and all that." And now the Department of Education has turned them into child abuse, and they're trying to take their kids away from them.
Sounds like Arizona.
I don't know what state it is. All I know is they're fighting it, which I don't blame them. It's like what.
I know the Texas and California, like there's big ones between this one guy in Texas. His son was taken away by his ex-wife to California, where they allow the boy to be transitioned into a girl, even though the boy doesn't want to.
Yeah, well.
I believe that.
I see a couple of different parents on YouTube saying that my child knew that they wanted to be a girl at 3 years old.
Or 6 months. Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, come on.
Yes, I told you. I've seen that. My neighbor down the street just got he's grandpa's age. He's in his 60s, and him and his wife just got their granddaughter because their grandson, because their daughter wanted a girl, and they were going to turn him into a girl, and he didn't want it. And he called his grandfather when he's like 6 or 7 years old. He called his grandfather from school and start crying to his grandfather, and his daughter signed over his custody of his. Said, "Here, you want him? You can have him." But because she says, "I want a girl, and I can't, and I can't have any. I didn't have one, so I'm gonna make." I'm serious. So he's got his grandson.
Oh my God. Don't the kids have any rights to sit there and say, "No, I don't want this"?
You've got a 2 or 3 year old child, and you're saying
don't know what
they want to be the opposite sex just because you told them that they want to be.
Exactly.
Now,
or the other sex has ice cream and they want ice cream. Like
the latest thing is Governor DeSantis out of Florida. Hey, Samantha. Went on TV and showed books and excerpts from these books that were available to third grade children. the TV station could not show them because they were too graphic.
Yeah. Feel like
Now,
you-
if it's too graphic to be on fucking TV, why are you showing this to third grade children?
Yeah.
The other one is DeSantos in Florida. Just recently did this, the Hyatt Regency line of hotels had a queer, drag queen night. And they served alcohol there, but there were minors present. So they took their license away from the Hyatt Regency Hotel.
As they should.
Yeah, because
know-
they were warned ahead of time that they should not do this. If they bring children in,
Hmm.
they will lose their license. They did it anyway.
Well, Regina, unfortunately, they want things so that they can do that to children. That's the scary thing.
And Regina, yeah, there's going to be a doctor who will do it. You give him
Yeah.
enough money, he'll do it.
You know, again, to clarify things, I don't give two fucks what you do as an adult. That's your business.
Yep.
But you know
But
what?
Kids are kids.
When you're pushing that on children, there's something wrong with you.
Hmm.
Because, you know, I've used this example before. Granddaughter says, I want to be a veterinarian. 2 days later, she says, I don't want to be a veterinarian because I can't save all the animals that I treat.
Hmm.
Children change their minds, especially before they've gone through puberty.
Yeah,
And, you know,
it happens.
in case you're out there listening, if you go to a doctor and get your dick cut off, there ain't no turning back.
Nope.
You've already done the Jenner.
Yep. Well, Regina said that no doctor's going to do a sex change on a child. Oh, yes, they are. They've done it. There are children in this country right now that are transitioning as we speak.
Yep, and I hope that those same children have access to the legal system in about 12 to 15 years when they realize that they didn't want to transition and they were forced into it by their doctors and teachers.
Well, maybe not the doctors really have no choice. Doctors'
Okay.
hands are tied. They
Okay.
can't. They have no choice. They have no
Okay.
they. It ain't bullshit. They have a legal obligation. They have to
No, they
perform
don't. They
it.
have the legal
Yes, they
obligation to do no harm.
Yep. They've changed the
Exactly.
laws. They've
They
changed
did.
the laws.
Yeah,
My
you
brother-
can
that-
change the law. The Hippocratic Oath is still the Hippocratic Oath.
My brother-in-law my brother-in-law is a doctor. If someone walked into his office, and that's why he went to general practitioner, because he won't do it. But if that is their specialty, doing surgery, they can't refuse. That's why he gave up on the surgery part. Just does general
That
practice
is
now.
his recourse. That is his only recourse, is to just leave the profession. And when everybody leaves the profession and they can't get any surgeries done, then they'll rethink that stupidity.
Yes, but they're not all going to do that. That's the
No,
problem.
no, that's the problem. People like money.
Some people can't do it. They get. I mean, he's both. He was a surgeon and general practitioner. He gave up. He's getting ready to retire anyways. But the thing is, though, they should be able to sue their parents if they're forced into it later on. Because believe me, if my father did that to me and turned me into a girl, I would have sued him. If I kept saying no, I don't want this, and it was done anyways, I'd run away probably. Believe me.
Someone changed you into a girl, I'd run away too, because you'd be one ugly motherfucking woman.
Yep. You wouldn't be any better there either, buddy.
You'd be like that one that's in charge of whatever in our government.
Well, in the
Yeah.
army, you're sergeant or the mayor or the general.
Yeah.
Yeah, the transgender general in the armed forces.
No, it's I forget what it is. It's not in the military. It's some other thing, but he wears a little fucking uniform and stuff. And we're talking about one ugly motherfucker. But
I'll send you a picture, Grandpa, of my niece. She just went transition. She's transitioning into a man now. supposedly. And she's going for surgery to get her artificial junk, basically. And she called me on the phone, everybody in the family, and said, "You will call me blah, blah, blah now." Okay.
Yeah.
I said, "Okay, Brandy, that ain't my name. I'm no longer a woman. I'm a man." I said, "Really? I said, "Can you produce children?" No. Then can you never could. You could have had a child. What's that?
She turned herself into a mule.
I said, you can't have children. You never could make a child.
I'll be right back.
So you're not a man.
Yeah, they sterilize themselves as soon as they do. Either way, they start those
Hormone
blockers and for puberty blockers. It sterilizes them.
Well, no, she had her ovaries removed in that, and I said, just because you have them removed, don't make you a man. And I said, be honest with you, and I'm not bragging about men, but men are generally physically stronger than a woman. You know, it's nothing against women. There's some strong women out there. Don't get me wrong, but I said, don't go into. I mean, she was in a bar with her so-called wife last week, and someone started a fight, and she got in a fight with another man, so a real man, and she couldn't believe how the guy knocked him out of his ass. Supposedly, she lives in a different state, but I go, she goes, "I'm not a lesbian no more. I'm heterosexual." Just because you have a fake set of family jewels, don't make you straight. Why? She says. I said, just 'cause, there's nothing wrong being. If that's what you want to be, I mean, there's something wrong with it, in my opinion. But hey, if you want to be a lesbian or gay, that's your problem. But to sit there just think you get a sex change don't mean you're heterosexual all of a sudden.
True.
Just like that statement the other day. If a man transitioning to a woman to have sex with a man, that's not gay sex, right? But it is.
Okay, you stop with that. That's just hurting my brain.
Well, the way you feel about the strength is the average 12-year-old boy.
Hey, Angela.
Strong is the average full-grown woman. Yes, there are women that are strong, and there are some that are, massive.
Well,
they're not the majority.
We have
just like me being 6'6" and 300 pounds. I'm an anomaly for men.
Oh, so you're tall. So you're tall and fat.
Well, if you want to call it fat, I can still run 2 miles.
I can't fucking run to the kitchen.
No, Regina, that don't mean they're not a woman just because they can't have children. I mean, they have something medically wrong with them, or they got their tubes tied or something. No, that don't mean they ain't a woman. But that's like, it's just like, but it just don't, just because that's just like my niece, just because she took some hormone treatment and grew a beard, don't make her a man. Just like if I took hormone treatment and grew a set of tits, don't make me a woman.
There's still that damn chromosome difference.
Makes you a lot more desirable at playtime, though, Scott.
Can't argue
no thanks.
No, you know what? Here's my thought on the whole thing. We like to group things together, but you know what? If you are a man and you prefer another man, that is a sexual preference, okay? If you're a man and think you're a woman, or you're a woman and think you're a man, you got something going on upstairs that's not right. There's a big difference. A big difference.
It's just like that. I got some weird neighbors. If I ever catch them in the summertime coming up the street, I'll put them on video. They'll let me. And I'm not kidding. What's that?
They're in public. You have no choice. You can put them on camera all you want. There's no privacy in public, right?
I'd still ask them. I got, I'm not an asshole. But they just moved here onto this street. They tried to buy my truck. They came up and knocked it and saw me walking up the street with my Miss Maggie, and they asked me, "Is that my truck there?" And I said, "Yes, it is." and they said, and they introduced themselves, and they said, we want to buy your truck. We'll give you $1,000 for it. And I says, my truck's worth a hell of a lot more than $1,000. And he said, and they said, well, we looked at the registration in the window because New York puts a registration year in their window, and he goes, it's a 96. It's not worth more than 1,000. I said, buddy, that's a Toyota T100. And we looked at the inspection. It says it's got 578,000 miles on it. You wouldn't know what to look at, I said. And I mentioned Grandpa. I said, hell, I know an old man up in Maine. If I called him up right now and said I was selling my truck for $1,000, believe me, I'm sure he would take my truck all day long for $1,000.
Would you say it 500,000 miles?
572,000.
No, I wouldn't.
Why?
Because that's too much fucking miles.
That ain't nothing for that truck. That'll go 1,000,000 miles all day.
Yeah, that's good. It won't go
Made it to your,
won't go 1,000,000 miles in my driveway.
it made it to your house and back, no problem.
Yeah.
But y'all gotta understand that it's been taken care of. So, I mean, but that ain't nothing for a modern a Toyota.
Hey, Katrina.
Hey, Katrina.
Welcome back, Trish.
The one I'm missing is my El Camino.
Yes, Lollipop Gold. That is the original motor, original transmission, original rear end, and there's more rust on a 2-year-old pickup truck than on mine. And if you don't believe me, you can ask Grandpa. He's seen my truck. There's hardly any rust on my truck. It was in his driveway.
That's a decent truck.
But it's worth more than $1,000. But the reason why they wanted to give me $1,000 for it is because they want electric vehicles. They want to take.
Hello.
Okay. So what are you up to? What are you up to, Katrina? How's the baby doing with them teeth coming in?
Yeah, how's the baby doing? I think she should come up and show us the baby. Show us the baby.
I know kids are miserable, man, when they get them teeth. My two, especially the younger one, when his teeth were coming in, he even got a fever.
My Matthew wasn't so bad, but he has a pain tolerance out of this world. Like, even as a child, he broke his damn arm, and I met him and the babysitter in the hospital. And as I was coming into the hospital, he was running after another kid with his broken arm, dangling and waving by his side.
Well, Regina, we have at our Hannaford up the road here, we have 6 charging stations. Oh, ooh. We got a treat.
Oh.
Hello. Can't hear you, Katrina. No, it's all static. No, it's all static. Amy.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. We had to rush her to the hospital on Thursday. She was like high temperature, vomiting. She's getting her back molars.
Yeah.
They don't get those till a year to 2 years old. But here she's cranky because it's getting close to bedtime.
Hi, little baby. Hi, little one.
Say hi.
Hey.
You say hi.
Hey. Yeah.
She's
jump
bouncing.
around. Yeah, jump around. There you go. Yeah. Hi. Hey.
She's beautiful.
She's starting to get back to herself now, so
Yeah.
her temperature is under control now, so she was so with the teething, like the back molars, it's a lot of pain because they're bigger teeth, and plus she was fighting a viral infection and respiratory, like a slight respiratory, so we were getting, just kicking that infant Advil into her, the liquids and stuff like that. So, yeah.
I'm glad she's feeling better. She's so precious.
Yeah.
Oh, we were so scared the other night. I think it was Saturday. It was the worst night we had out of all of this. She was turning purple.
Oh no.
And going into like a convulsion because of the pain, right? Like she was shaking, cold but sweating.
Wow.
I'm like, oh my God, like, and my anxiety kicked in right away. So we had taken her
Hey, Jack.
check. So okay. Mommy's gonna get down and then we'll go feed you. I'll be in the chat.
All right.
Okay,
Thanks for coming up, Katrina.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
What a
Yes,
treat
Meg.
that was.
Hey, Maggie.
She wants her attention. Yeah.
Hey, Maggie May.
Yeah, so guess what? The teeth coming in are just as bad as the teeth going out.
Yeah.
Come on, Meg, stop. Good
Hi,
morning.
Amy. Hi, Zach.
What's going on, Amy? Hope you're well.
Hi, everybody that came in.
I didn't say hello, Amy and Zach. Hello.
Yeah. Yep. The teeth are always fun. I remember when I had my the same niece that got her who's getting transitioning over. I remember when she was a baby, I had her, and she was doing the same. She got when she had her teeth in. Oh my God, that was crazy. Kept her one day, not the next.
Yeah, my oldest was a fussier when his teeth came in. Matthew, no. Todd, yes.
It's funny. I've even heard Katrina say a toothache is worse than childbirth. It can be.
Can be.
Every one of my teeth fell out one at a time, and each time I'd sit for hours doing this shit.
Yeah.
No, I bet you.
Oh,
Yeah.
hubby has bad genetics, so he has bad teeth, and he's I've seen him get the chills, feverish, get really sick just from one of those tooth flare-ups.
Yeah.
My see, I only got half of my adult teeth, and then when I did get the ones I did get came in rotten. I had teeth cut. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, but when I had my teeth, they were rotten because they came in rotten. No, they literally came in. It was expensive getting them pulled though. Cost me after insurance and everything, it still cost me $27,000 to get all my teeth pulled and the implants done and everything.
That's just ridiculous. There isn't a reason why it has to be so bloody expensive. I mean, or why we can't have dental coverage with our health care. Like dental care.
I got health insurance. I got health insurance. I do. But you know what the problem is? You go now. This is I asked this of a dentist and he couldn't give me a straight answer. Okay, so if I need my teeth removed surgically, which I did because I had hook teeth. Hook teeth are kind of interesting. It's where the roots wrap themselves around the jaw. The only way to get them out is literally cut you open, cut your gum line open, and then take a pair of pliers, surgical pliers, and go crunch, 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 and break the teeth away from the gum line.
Mm-hmm.
And but that was $175 per tooth.
Wow.
And but if I had regular extractions, where they could just Novocaine me up and pull them out,
yeah,
It would have been $268.
Okay, so you're a bit of an exception to the rule. But still, my point still remains. Dental care is really stupid expensive, and it should be included in people's health care. For the simple fact that bad oral care has been proven scientifically and medically to have an adverse effect on the overall health of the body, causing other medical problems.
Oh, I know that. But what I'm saying is, even regular, if you walk into a dentist's office with insurance, it's still going to cost you over $5,000 per top, $5,000 per bottom after insurance to get all.
It's stupid. Like, it shouldn't be so expensive.
A lot of problems from beginning to end, if you know what I mean, is because I put food in my mouth and I gum it enough so I can swallow it, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not chewed up properly.
Yep.
And what makes me mad is you're a vet, and you should be able to get free dentures.
Oh, absolutely, I agree. Our vets should be taken care of. 100%.
I can get dentures, but I've seen the kind of dentures that they want to give you. I've seen them put them in mental health patients. They're these little tiny things that make you look like a fucking piranha.
Yeah. They're not that way anymore, Grandpa. My teeth are small, not small, and these came from the VA. There's nothing small about them. You should look into it because they've changed them now. They changed the standards. Now they're using basic teeth. They go by, and you would look different for a while until your mouth shrunk around them. But you should get them. Then you might be able to enjoy some food that you haven't been able to enjoy. Who cares what you look like as long as you can.
I still enjoy my food.
Oh, I know that, but there's still stuff you can't eat like you could before.
Yeah. Well, there's only a couple of things I miss. One of them is a payday.
Oh, yep. I can eat one. The reason why I went with implants is because I didn't want my teeth floating around on the bottom.
Oh, so that's another thing why yours were so expensive that you didn't explain. It's you have implants.
Mine are not ordinary. Well, I had to get
implants. Are really, really expensive. So yeah, that of course your teeth were really expensive.
The implants were free in my mouth. The VA paid for the implants. Mine was all surgical to get them removed. Oh, they paid for the implants.
Dental care here, Trish, is fucking outrageous.
I believe it.
I went to 3 dentists. I had to go to a surgical dentist, basically an orthodontist, to remove my teeth. That was the expense. That was all in after insurance was $11,000.
My point is, I have not met a dentist that lives humbly yet. Every dentist I met has the big house, the 3 cars, the motorhome, the freaking boat, the wood by the lake, and there's absolutely ridiculous amounts of greed is what I'm saying.
That part. But you know what pisses me off? When I had my teeth, I remember I had a molar that was being forced out. I had a wisdom tooth that came up and was pushing out a molar. Mm-hmm. So every time I bit down, it was like biting on a tooth. And if it was the molar, I wish I actually saved the tooth because it was so crazy because it came up in the air like this. Here's your molar, and the wisdom tooth was underneath it, right in the middle, pushing it out. So I had to lose 2 teeth. I walked to a dentist office. I was laid off at the time. This is about 15 years ago. I was just temporarily laid off, because they were reworking the factory I was working at. And I go in there and they said, walked to the dentist office, said, yep. He says, yep, those 2 have to come out. I paid him the $50. And then I said to him, now, I'm going back to work in 3 weeks. And I'll get a paycheck after that. I'll pay you. Can I pay you then? Oh, he said he got out of that chair and almost pushed me out the door. Sorry. No money, no service. But a toothache can cause a heart attack.
Yep.
So, but if I went to the hospital, they can't refuse to treat me. And
The
he
dentist
said,
can.
not my problem.
Yeah.
Huh? But they won't. A dentist can't be forced to treat me.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I mean,
It is.
you could literally be in
Absolutely,
pain.
I agree.
They'll give you a prescription to fight the pain, but they won't do anything to alleviate the pain 100% because they won't do it. They don't give a damn if you feel like you're being shot with a 12 gauge. They don't give a damn. They won't touch you. He told me to sell something and give him the money.
And Katrina, what Regina said earlier about the whiskey, it works.
Yeah, just rub a little bit on her gums.
Yep. I remember many times dipping, the Jack Daniels was in the house.
It numbs.
Yep.
And the
The Jack
alcohol.
Daniels was in the house for me and for the baby.
Yeah.
Because just a little bit on your finger and rub it on the gums, and they get all happy. Yeah, and you want to give her things that she likes, Katrina.
Oh, I agree, Katrina. That's what I did with my kids when it was time to switch them over. I fed them what I ate, and I just chopped it up, really blended it. I had a bullet too, and yeah.
All those magic bullets are awesome.
They are. They're cheap things, they're not well made, but I've had my bullet for more than 10 years right now, so it's going good.
So why do you say they ain't well made? That sounds pretty good.
I've
Well made
heard
to me. If it's
so many people who have had issues with them.
Most of the problem that people have with most consumer goods is from stupidity.
That I know of that actually still uses it. In fact, every one of my friends who have one doesn't have it.
Think about it though. It's like a snowblower. There's people who complain about a snowblower. Oh, this thing don't work right. My neighbor across the street, I was laughing at him last year when we had a big snow, and he's saying it's leaving the snow. It's chucking up, and I went over and looked at it. I said, "You got it in 5th gear." He said, "So." If you look there, it says 1st gear, heavy wet snow, 2nd gear, mild snow, 3rd gear for fluffy snow. It says 5th gear is a transport gear. So it's like driving a Porsche in a snowstorm, you friggin' idiot. 5th gear is where, okay, you're done. You made your last pass. You lift up the snowblower bucket and you put it in 5th gear and you haul ass back to your garage or wherever you keep the snowblower. It's not meant to run the snowblower in 5th gear and blow snow. It can't do it.
Yeah, Lollipop Guild, I'd watch that dog really close, man. And I wouldn't leave anything like a spoon or a fork or a knife. There's been dogs that like to chew things that would swallow a knife. I mean, I've seen that on YouTube where their dog was given an x-ray and there was a damn steak knife in their stomach.
Oh, yeah.
And they ain't going to pass a steak knife.
Oh, no, really? You think? Yep. It's hard to get. It's hard to get. It's hard to get people to understand. Something. That's why a lot of consumers have problems with their goods because they don't read the instructions, or even if they do, they think they know more than the manufacturer.
Yeah, I don't have a bullet. I have a Ninja.
Same idea.
And if I find certain meats on sale, I can just bring it home and it's got one that will grind up meat.
I got a $10 grinder, a Black & Decker grinder. It's a look up, put it in, twist it, boom. I paid $10 for it at Dollar General. I think that thing's 20 years old, and it works perfect.
I love my Ninja. Man, I can make a big old milkshake.
Mm-hmm.
I can.
Yep.
I get a round roast, I can make up my own burger.
Hmm?
It's just I find it amazing that I love one of my favorite things to do is you'll look on these reviews of people from cars to lawnmowers, snowblowers. It's like I watched this one guy say that he had a Cub Cadet snowblower, and that engine was a pile of crap. Blah blah. I sold that piece of crap and went and bought a Troy-Bilt, and I typed in them. I said, "You do know a Troy-Bilt snowblower and a Cub Cadet are one the same? One's painted yellow, one's painted red, and they're both made in the same plant, have the same motor, same everything." Told me I was full of shit, and I went to a local Lowe's and took a picture of two of them side by side, the controls and all, and posted on the website that he made that post. And he looked at it and said, "They look the same."
Didn't both of those used to be made by Sears?
No,
Yes, I do believe so. What
Sears
was the
never
brand?
made anything.
No, Sears did.
Sears never made a lawn equipment. They put out bids. Whoever gives them the cheapest bid, they put their name on it. Sears was a department store.
Well, they used to sell
Troy-Bilt. Yes, they used to. All they do, like Sears snowblowers now are made by are basically a Troy-Bilt snowblower with a Craftsman label on it. Sears never actually made anything. Like the old Sears Suburban tractor that was legendary. They were beasts. They were made by Roper. And then later on, they were made by Husqvarna. Sears never actually made anything. They put their name on it for them.
Mm.
But MTD makes Troy-Bilt, Cub Cadet, Boland's, Murray. They're all made by Cub Cadet. I mean, and what's funny is Snapper lawnmowers used to be Snapper lawnmowers, you know. And you know who owns Snapper Lawnmower Corporation now? Briggs and Stratton.
Yeah, I had one of those snappers, same kind that Forrest Gump had.
Yep, and those were the best rear engine rider ever built.
Yep,
They had no transmission in them. They just had a friction disc. The disc went bad. You spent $20 on a new friction disc, and you ran.
Yep, and everything on there was held on by a cotter key. If it broke, you just took it off and replaced it.
Mm-hmm. I have one of those in my backyard. It was my dad's with a blown motor on it. And I haven't had time, but I'm going to put a new motor on it. They were the best cutting lawn rear engine rider you could buy. There was nothing to them. The belt, I mean, it had one belt for the mower deck and the friction disc to drive it. They only had one drawback. If the grass was wet and it flat and your drive disc got wet, they sucked. But who cares? Most people don't mow their lawn when it's raining out.
I had one for the longest time. I paid my neighbor $75 for it. I had it for 2 years and sold it to another neighbor for $100.
Oh, Regina, toothbrushes are so comfortable to chew on if you have a toothache or a gum ache. I've chewed on toothbrushes before.
I'll give you.
Getting into the gums.
You know what? Here's a good tip for somebody that's got a toothache and they got a cavity. What causes the toothache is the air getting to the cavity. So you want to stop it. You take a candle, a birthday candle, or canning wax. You melt it you take a Q-tip, you melt it and put it on real quick, stick it on your finger, not when it's real hot, or a butter knife or something. Open your mouth and put it right in the cavity. Pack it in real good. Keep your mouth open for a little bit, let it dry. It'll harden up in there. It's like a temporary filling. And guess what? Your toothache stops like instantly because there's no air getting to it.
Mm-hmm.
That or another one, chew on some bubble gum, get it all worked up, put the bubble gum in the cavity, and let it harden. No air, no pain. anything, any three of those products will work. The reason why I like the candle wax or the other, because there's no taste to it, and you can actually. I actually had a cavity on top of a molar, like the whole top was black. I filled that thing with canning wax. It was in there for a week before it fell out.
Oh wow.
Never had a problem. And the canning wax gets real hard. You know what I mean? I actually mix candle wax and candle. Canning wax, the wax like on top of a canning jar. I actually took canning wax and a candle, mixed them together, and it made it like a rock. When I went to the dentist to get out, he said, "What the hell's in that?" And I told him what I did. He says, that they cut the air out. It worked.
I like Regina's idea.
What's that?
Clove oil and it's with a soaked cotton ball. You soak the cotton ball in clove oil and then pack it in there. The clove oil has numbing properties, so it's going to take the pain away. It also helps to keep the area clean.
Yeah, but the problem is, after you drink something a couple times, it'll rinse out that out. I like that idea, and then cover it with the wax, because then it'll keep the air out. That's what does it. The air getting in there. So you could do that and then cover it with some candle wax and that. And my grandmother taught me the candle wax trick, and because she bad teeth run in the family.
Hey, Ashley.
Hi, Ashley.
It's all right.
And yes, Regina, never done.
Exactly. I think when it comes to children, we're all inexperienced. We just do things naturally.
I think, yeah, and I like the fact that something I know somebody else doesn't know, and something they know I didn't know. I like the exchange of knowledge. It's a good thing.
That's like doctors. They go to school and they go by what they learned in school. It's like my older son was terribly colicky. He would cry for sometimes days on end. And Grandma said, "You know what? You need to take him off on that formula crap and give him solid food." So we started with the oats and the rice cereal and went to vegetables. And after the first day, he stopped.
He was hungry.
Yeah.
Matthew was the same way. My youngest, he was the same way. He took the bottle fine, and then there was a time when he stopped and he started crying and fussing, and he wouldn't, he would take the bottle, but he'd cry and he'd fuss. And Mom said, "Get him some Pablum, start him on the Pablum." I started him on the Pablum. I went right to baby cereal right after. I think I bought one box of Pablum and I didn't even finish it all up, because I went from Pablum into a heartier cereal, and then from that straight into foods that I made for him, because A, it was cheaper, and B, he was just gobbling everything up.
It's amazing how today these sugary cereals that people give their kids anymore, and junk food. It's like I ate so much shredded wheat, oatmeal, and puffed rice when I was a kid. It's not funny. It's puffed wheat, no sugar.
I still like the puffed wheat, and I like the shredded wheat, and I used to really love Wheaties until I seen what it did to Bruce Jenner.
I love Frosted Flakes and Fruit Loops, and Sugar Crisp is my favorite. And don't get me started on Sugar Crisp.
I like Special K.
I'll show you what I eat for breakfast every morning. I've been doing it for 30 years. I bet you, they still make it. I don't know if you've seen it, but remember this cereal?
Is that shredded wheat?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Full size.
The big old chunk.
Still comes in a wrapper.
That's good stuff. Yeah, what you making, Amy? I'll be right back.
I eat 3 of these biscuits a day. Aggie likes it too. That's shredded wheat. 3 of
Where did
these.
he go?
He went to the bathroom or something.
My hubby likes that.
I mix
like
it with
the ones
honey.
with the icing on the side. It's got to be sweet if you want me to eat it, because breakfast is all about being sweet. Unless
Yep.
it's white.
I like I eat it with soy milk or almond milk and mix it with and pour a little honey on top.
I haven't tried honey, but I like bananas and honey. Bananas and honey is good with milk. They got to be green bananas, though. That's what I like. And Donna likes favorite cereal is Cheerios, cornflakes, shredded wheats.
Well,
And
these are the
chocolate
full size
brown
biscuits.
sugar.
Yep, I use honey on mine. I'll put honey and soy milk.
Oh, I love oatmeal too. In fact, I've been craving some just plain Jane oatmeal. I should have some for supper.
Hey,
It's a good idea, Regina.
come here. Hey.
Excuse me.
Oh, Amy, I'm coming over.
I forgot before I forget. I gotta show you guys. Show you Superman.
Oh, mail him to me. Put him in a little box and mail him to Canada. Oh,
Mr. Gizmo.
Mr. Gizmo.
Gizmo.
He's cute.
Hey, Chandler.
Hello, Gizmo.
No, you can't have my Gizmo. He's 20 years old.
You know, I'm sick and tired of men saying I can't have whatever it is I want. I mean, I am so sick of
This
that.
is my mother and father's dog.
This
I'm not.
is something that needs to be addressed. You know,
It does.
it's
It does
just
need to.
wrong.
It does need to be addressed.
Guy here who has the cutest ferret, I can't have his ferret. I can't have Mr. Gizmo. Like, what the hell?
This is my parents' dog.
It needs to be addressed, Trish. You just need to get over it, okay?
No, I won't get over it. It's mean.
Why would I give you my parents' dog?
Because it's little and white and small.
He's 20 years old.
Little, is your husband still in the room? Trish?
Because he's what?
Is your husband still in the room, Trish?
Nope. He went upstairs.
I was going to say, you know, if you want something little, white, and small, maybe you ought to pull his pants down.
No, what?
He ain't that little.
Because you want him because he's little, white, and what else?
And small.
Little, white, and small. Fuzzy. I don't know. I can't remember what I said.
There's not but he wouldn't make it to Canada in a box. He would die before he got there.
I know. I wasn't serious.
Yeah, right. You'd shit your pants if you open up the door and you open up the box and he came running out.
I'd have a home for life. He'd have a loving home for life. Absolutely.
Oh, there's one thing he does that you wouldn't like. There's one thing he does you wouldn't like. He misses the wee-wee pad a lot. I have wee-wee pads taped to the wall and all over because he's half blind and he shits all over the place. Thank God it's easy to pick up, but oh yeah, no, and because he can't go outside. You kidding me? He'd freeze to death outside in the wintertime, and in the summertime he get the grass. The grass is taller than he is.
Pshaw, freeze. I had a Chihuahua, and let me tell you, he loved the snow. He was my little snow dog. He would get into the big drifts, and then you'd just see his little tail. The tip of his little.
He's 20 years
I mean,
old. Almost. He's actually 21. He can't take the cold. It'd
Okay,
kill him.
well, he's 21. He's kind of frail.
He is frail.
Yes.
Yeah, a good friend of mine had 6 Chihuahuas, and when she passed away, they went to her son, and he still has 2 of them. They're over 20 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Gizmo?
Regina. We got to talk to Angela about that.
No, Gizmo's Gizmo has no paws. There's no pads on his paws because the people I got him from my parents from he was in an abusive home and they burned his paws because just for fun. They burned his paws with cigarettes.
Oh, I was like,
He has no paws.
Konnichiwa, Pomina.
Konnichiwa, Famina.
Hope you're doing
How
well.
was when we got our second cat, Solstice, the white one from the SPCA, he had been a surrender. Someone had taken his poor claws and cut them right down to the skin of his pads.
Wow.
Right past the quicks. All of them cut right off.
Yeah, the last time I did Jackson's nails, I cut one of them too short and about made me cry because it was bleeding.
Yeah, I know. It makes me feel bad too when I do that.
When I got Maggie,
I
Maggie
couldn't
was
believe the state of his claws. It was horrible. It was just absolutely horrible. The amount of pain he must have been in.
Maggie was well, Grandpa remembers when I got Maggie, she was about 20 pounds underweight. It took me, and then she went, and she was not potty trained. She was 3 years old, was not potty trained at all, and she shit and piss all over the house. It took me. I had to rip up the carpet in the house because it took me, and I wasn't going to it until I had her potty trained. It took me 6 months to potty train her.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pomina. Thank you.
But I mean, it's really sad how people mistreat animals. Gizmo's paws are destroyed.
Yeah, if you're doing your animals right, the ones that's getting mistreated is you.
Yeah.
I get Jackson's feet in the middle of my back, and he starts chasing after something. I don't think he's chasing something. He's running from something.
Yeah. Nightmares.
Yeah, he sees his own shadow when he runs.
Aww.
Yeah. There's one good thing.
I get scratches all over my back, and I tell you, they're not how I remember them, you know.
Oh yeah. You know it's funny though? It's Mr. Briggs is the same way. He'd wake up in the middle of the night and dive up, jump over me. He'd jump on your back in the mirror. He'd run down the stairs to bark at whatever was coming by.
Pumina's got a corgi. Corgis are beautiful dogs. There you go. That's isn't that Mud?
Yep, that's Muddy.
Hey, Mudfoot. Hey, buddy.
And then there's Gus over there.
Hey. Like, yeah. We're relaxing. Leave us alone.
That's one thing. That's one thing I it's like Briggs. I miss Briggs and Stratton. They were fun.
Yes, honey is good for sores. Honey's very medicinal.
You know, for years, and this was taught for generations, which couldn't be more than wrong. You get burnt, they'd tell you to put butter on it.
Yeah, and now that's the worst thing that you can do.
It is, because butter is oily.
Yeah, it just
butter
keeps
actually,
going.
Yeah, butter actually feeds the burn. And the best thing you could do is put it under cold water and keep it under cold water.
Yeah.
I remember my father, when we had a wood burner, burned himself bad. He opened up the door, a chunk of wood came down and hit his flannel shirt. The shirt caught on fire, and he ran to the sink and put it naturally, and it ruined the shirt. But he was more worried about his arm. And He had 2nd-degree burns all across his arm and pussing and split. He did just what you said. He just filled the sink full of hot water and he sat there
You mean
for
cold
about
water?
an hour.
You mean
That's what I mean, cold water. That's what I meant, cold water. And slowly added hot water to it, made it warm. But then he went to the doctors, and the doctors gave him an ointment to put on it and something else, and they told him that he had to pop when the blisters came up to come back, because they had to pop the blisters. Next day he came back and it was like 20, 30 blisters on his up down his arm, and they sat there one by one with a needle, and sterilized needle, and popped every one of them.
Wow.
Because they were big. And then the skin peeled back after a couple days, but it took about 2 weeks for his arm to start resembling. But and even when he died, he had all these old white marks, and that happened 30, 40 years ago.
Oh, getting burnt's a terrible thing.
Yeah,
That was bad. You know what the worst part was? He was home alone when it happened, and he had to put his arm out and then go put the fire out, because where the wood burner came out, it hit the hardwood floor and was burning the hardwood floor. It burned it pretty bad. We had to refinish that floor that spring. But after that, after he refinished the hardwood floor in the wintertime, he made a metal plate to put out in front of the wood burner, so if anything like that happened again, it wouldn't. That was pretty bad. He didn't burn. Wasn't engulfed in flames or anything, but it was starting to burn the floor pretty hot, because when you got a log burning. That's why he would never let us open the wood burner. He said we came home after it happened and saw the burnt log he threw water on, and he was in the kitchen, and he says, and my stepmother drove and had to drive him to the hospital. He said, that's the exact reason why I don't let you kids play with the wood burner.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a holiday in Japan? Happy White Day?
Happy White Day.
Because here someone might think that was a racist comment.
No, I think that is an actual holiday there.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, happy White Day.
Because I think they also have a red day.
You know,
I could be wrong.
Japan doesn't have all that confusion bullshit that we have.
No.
And all these, you know what? People, again, if you don't like my language, mute. You know what? Fuck all these pronouns. I was terrible in English, okay? Oh, okay. First day you can wear white. Yeah, that's right.
Ah, that's what it is.
Well, we have that here. They just don't call it that. It's when you can start wearing white again and when you should stop.
Yeah, and then there's me, and I don't play by the rules. I wear white when I want to.
That'd be like walking to a bar around. Be like walking down the street, or especially around here. You see these people going up to their like I got a buddy of mine I went to school with named Charlie, and she's a black guy. He's a nice guy. But he walks up to his buddies and goes, "Yo, what's up?" They call each other the N-word. And a buddy of mine and me walked into a bar one day, and walked up to another guy we knew and said, "Hey, Cracker, what's up?" Oh my God, they were looking at us like, "What's your problem?" "Well, you're calling each other the N-word, so we might as well call ourselves crackers." They didn't. They're like, "That's racist." When we say it, it's not racist when we call each other that. I said, "Why would you want to call each other that?" Anyways.
Well,
why not?
I mean, I'll be totally honest with you, Femina. When I look at you on Facebook, I'm really not looking at what you're wearing, okay? I'll be honest about it.
I don't think you would be looking at it. You're visualizing something else.
Well, I'm sure whatever she's wearing white, or at least I hope it's a bikini.
It's because you're a dirty old man.
No, I'm just an honest man. I've always been that way.
I'm sorry to hear that, Regina.
Yeah, that sounds terrible, Regina. And burns.
Oh,
burns
yeah.
are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I've been burned a couple times. Not bad, but bad enough. Well,
Yeah, I think the worst I ever got burnt when I was a teenager. I was burning something in a metal trash can with a lid on it, and I wasn't thinking, and I went up and pulled that lid right off in the top with my bare hand.
Ooh.
Well, my hand stuck to the lid.
Oh my God.
I mean,
you
it
remember
like
where I work?
it
Or
instantly,
FedEx, Grandpa?
yeah, it instantly melted my skin.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I remember. I think Katrina was on the panel, and a couple other. I can't remember who else. I think Dean was on it, and when I worked for FedEx, I had one of the dollies, and I was hooking up the second trailer, and as Grandpa, my pinky was dangling like this,
Ooh.
and he said, "Let's see what it looks like." And I posted on it. And Katrina, I can't remember what Katrina did, but I think she turned her back because this pinky here. I don't know if you can see the scar. It's like the little mark right here.
Oh, I think
It was actually dangling off my hand. And Grandpa looked at it and said, he did. I shut my camera off real fast, or he did. I can't remember, but it was gross. You know, my pinky. And it's funny. My boss was more worried about me suing him than anything else. And I went to work. I drove like this and put my arm on the steering wheel and shifted like this with the other hand, and then put the other hand. That was. I did that for like a month, and I could not move this hand. If I did, it hurt like hell, and I had it all wrapped up. They couldn't put a cast on it, so every day I had to go to the hospital in the morning, and they had to. My boss ended up with like $8,000 in medical bills, and I'd have to. Then finally, I could use my thumb and put it in the steering wheel and steer like this, and shifting the other hand.
Wow.
There was one good thing about it. I didn't have to hook. I hooked up doubles every night. I had to hook them up in Albany where I went. 4 sets of doubles because I moved to different stations. But when I left there at the yard, they hooked them up for me. He drove in and hooked up the trailers for me. And when I went and got back in the morning, he met me there and I unhooked them because he didn't want me to get hurt.
Yeah.
Handlebar beard.
Well, that doesn't sound good, Regina. You know, I wouldn't say it's less of a burn, but if you have something that gets burnt and it's not covered by clothing, I think it's a lot less severe.
Oh yeah.
You get it in a place like your back or your legs or something like that you got to put clothing on.
Yeah, that hurts.
Getting burnt's terrible any way you look at it.
Yep.
There's no way around it.
Hey, some of the stuff we did was kids like playing Evel Knievel, putting a barrel, a couple, 2 or 3 cinder blocks in the board, and then 3 or 4 kids laying in front of the cinder blocks come down the street and jump over the kids. With no shirt on, pair of shorts, or in barefoot to boot. I remember us doing that. I remember my brother did it one time. He had no shirt on, barefoot, and a pair of swim trunks. Came down the street, jumped over a bunch of kids. There was like 7 kids laying in the road, and he built a ramp and he jumped over them. Well, he cleared the kids, came down, and laid down on his side, laid that bike down his side. He skidded about down the street about 20 feet. Yeah, from the whole left side, up his legs, his arm, just brush burned right down. It looked like someone took a sander, and went just raw meat. And then when he came forward, he skid on his stomach about 5 foot. My brother wasn't a badass that day. He cried like a little schoolgirl. He had scabs all over him, peeling off for about 2 or 3 weeks after they started to heal up. Couldn't go swimming. They wouldn't let him in the pool. Think about it. Goes in the pool and then the scabs start to come off.
Yeah.
Hey, Junkyard, how you doing? Yeah, I didn't notice that until this afternoon that I had my on time coming on at 4:15 in the morning.
That would have been funny.
I set the timer for 6 p.m. but then I didn't push save.
Mm,
Hey, A&D Lawn Tractor, how you doing? How about you, Junkhead? How the fuck you doing? How you doing?
Grandpa, I'm gonna get off panel right now. I'm gonna go down into chat. I've got to go feed the dogs.
Well, thank you for coming up. You know, I'm going to call it a night anyways, people. I've been on here an hour and 35 minutes. Bless my pea-picking fucking heart.
It's amazing for you lately. You've been doing an
Yeah.
hour.
I usually just do an hour, but I had, you know, between 18 and 20 people, and I'm very thankful for that.
Awesome. Well, bye everybody.
And take care. Thank you,
Bye.
Trish. Everybody in the chat, thank you, Scott, for coming up.
And
Everybody in
and
the chat,
anybody hit the like or dislike one button. We don't give a rat's ass. It all counts.
yeah, they don't show the dislikes anyways.
I know. That's why I said we don't give a shit. Hit the like or dislike. We don't give a shit.
Yep, it's all of you. And thank you, everybody. Yeah, well, I wouldn't mind sitting down and having a cup of coffee with you, Junkyard. It's just, like I said, I didn't push the save button. At 4:30 in the morning, I was sleeping for about an hour.
Yeah.
So we're getting hammered with the snow, Junkyard. Thank you all for coming in. I do appreciate it. Catch you again next week.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Nice. Bye. Leave your paws to yourself, you crazy